radio for Whammo 1073. You know what that is. It's Sunday, it's early morning. I don't know where you coming from, don't know where you going, but I need you to listen up to find out what's good in your hood. We're going to talk about swag, not your fit. We're going to talk about Social Worker Appreciation of Greatness Awards. Yes, it's back. Yes, March 7th at Sheridan Station Square. And we got the founder, the visionary, Sharise Nance. Last time I talked to her, I called her Dr. Sharise. She was like, girl, I don't want that. But she's like, get somebody else to
Oh,
do it.
what's that word?
I don't want that. But let me just tell you, Sharise, that I learned so much from our conversations. You have such a gentle spirit. I love having conversations with you when I'm in the same room with you. I just always just feel this release and just it's a safe space with you. And that's what
Thank
the
you.
Swag Awards is all about. And it's not just you holding it down, but your vision holds it down for all of our social workers who go to bat for us and our emotions, and they allow us to load on them. And so what
Mm.
you've done with the Swag Awards is giving them this space where we could just give them their flowers and show them how much we appreciate all the hard work that they do. And for those who are visiting us for the first time or hearing from you for the first time, talk about the Swag Awards and what it means and what swag is and how it prompted you to start the Swag Awards.
Yes, thank you, Kiki. Well, I am a social worker by trade, and I just love social work. It's something that has been in my spirit. I'm connected to it. I've been doing this work for over 2 decades now, and I saw a need. I saw that working in this profession for all of these years alongside my colleagues and watching them experiencing it firsthand, we're prone to burnout. We're prone to compassion fatigue because we're in the trenches. We see people at their very worst, and we also get to experience them at our best. And many of us, self care is an afterthought for us, recovery is an afterthought for us. So we're not prioritizing it for ourselves. And I'm also seeing that we're often unappreciated or underappreciated by, I'll be totally frank, the organizations that we work for.
Mm.
I've worked in the medical realm of social work alongside some amazing healthcare professionals, and social workers were not getting the same level of respect.
Mm.
Even though we were doing similar work in different lanes, they were responsible for the medication reconciliations, and we were responsible for the mental health assessments and wellness. And they're both very important, but we were making 20, sometimes $30,000 less. So that's just the level of disrespect. And then we talk about celebrating the work. We don't get into this for the accolades. Social workers who have been reached out to let them know that they've won the award, there have been social workers that had a hard time accepting it
Mm.
because they don't want to be celebrated in that way. And I was seeing a pattern of social workers not showing up on award ceremonies lists. And I'm like, hold on, wait a minute, what's
Mm.
going on here?
Mhm.
There's some amazing people being recognized, but I don't see any social workers here. There are some that I know who are behind the scenes doing amazing work. Are they not being nominated? Or is there this expectation? Well, that's their job. That's what they should be doing.
Mhm.
And I was complaining about it to my husband, and he's like, well, what are you going to do about it? I said, I want to celebrate social workers. National Social Work Month is in March. So let's start there. So we started pre-COVID with just this informal online recognition, reaching out to organizations, asking them about social workers. And we just would do a blurb on social media with their bio and their photo, and people got excited about it. So we met. It was an informal meetup, and they're like, what's next? And I'm like, I don't know. What do y'all want to be next? So we created a Facebook group just for social workers to have a space to hang out, share resources. And then the award ceremony idea came up. I'm like, whoa, an event. So now I'm going to be an event planner putting on this award ceremony. And some of the best advice that I received was from a friend of mine, Deanna Rojas. She is amazing. She's been a huge support. She's like, what you want to do is great, but don't do this without putting a committee together. And that was the best advice I could have received because
Yes.
me, I'm a visionary. I'm a doer. I will take action and I'll just do it, and then I'll be exhausted, and then I'll be mad, and I'll expect my husband to do it all with me when this isn't even a two-person job.
Mm-hmm.
So fortunately, we've been able to just cultivate a great group of people. It's not just social workers. There are some social workers. There are people from other professions, and they've been amazing in helping us create this. And the inaugural year was rough
Mm-hmm.
because we had everything going. We had the momentum, and then 2 weeks before the ceremony, COVID happened and we had to shut everything down. And people are like,
Mm-hmm.
oh no, what are we going to do? I'm like, I don't know. Never lived through a pandemic before. And fortunately, we were able to have our first online celebration in 2021. It was a great experience. People felt celebrated. We had just amazing energy for it to be online. And in 2022 was our first in person celebration.
Oh,
And now we're going into 6 years. Yeah.
I love that. I love the fact that you're so hands-on, to the point where you're like you're noticing, okay, wait, we're not having enough conversation here, or we're having too much conversation here, or maybe it needs to be shared here. You are so hands-on, and you're making sure that every area is touched and with the right focus, with the right resource and the right connections. Just last month, you held a panel discussion with area social workers that talked about their journeys and their experiences. Talk about that just a little bit, because that was a path that was new to me, and I've known you for just a few years. But at the same
Mhm.
time, it was like, wow, I didn't know that social workers went through that. I didn't know that there was such a burnout. I didn't know. And so, for people who aren't quite familiar with your journey,
Yes.
talk about that particular event, what that was, and then the outcome of that event.
Yeah. So the event was called Beyond the Thank You, and the purpose of the event was, and Kiki was our MC. So thank you again for showing up for
Of
us.
course.
And the purpose of that event was just to say thank you to the people who have sponsored the swag awards from the very beginning, the people
Hmm.
who believed in the vision before it was even a thing,
Hmm.
before we knew what the outcome would be, but they believed in it. So we wanted to thank them. We wanted to thank our supporters. We wanted to thank other social workers. So it was an informal celebration. It wasn't open to the public because, well, number one, funding. It costs a lot of money to host these big events, as we see
Hmm.
with the swag awards. That's open to the community, but this was small, and who knows where it would go. And we wanted it to be informal, but we also wanted to be, and I got this feedback, excuse me, from my husband, who we've been married for a long time, but he's not a social worker, but he's been around it, and he was able to provide some helpful insight about, we can't assume that people know what social work is or what social workers go through. So maybe you can have some type of educational piece. I'm like, that's actually a good idea. So we
Hmm.
put together a panel of just a diverse group of social workers that come from mental health background, that come from um, community organizing background, and come from the educational background, because social work covers so many areas. There are a lot of misconceptions about what social workers do, that we're removing kids or that we're looking like Mariah Carey and Precious. So we wanted to have this panel so that people could see, wow, social workers do that. Social workers are responsible for, as Michelle McMurray was saying, she's a former awardee and she's going to be one of the speakers this year. She was talking about how she's responsible for multi-million-dollar grants. And it's like, wow, social workers do that? Yes, we do that. We are everywhere. We are not just boxed in. There are so many things that we do. So they were able to talk about what their lane is in social work and their lived experiences, and all of us were able to speak to our experiences with burnout and compassion fatigue, which is something that I
Hmm.
speak on and facilitate workshops. We're prone to it. I refer to it
Hmm.
as the common cold of helping professional social workers, not just social workers, but helping professionals. When you are exposed to people and you are serving people who experience a lot of trauma, a lot of psychosocial stressors, we hold that. We hold that in our bodies, in our nervous systems. And if we don't have a regular regimen for recovery, we will be exhausted. We
Yeah.
will get burned out. And it just can have a trickle effect on us, the people we serve, communities, the organizations. And it wasn't talked about when I was in school. The focus
Mm.
was on leave your bags at the door and serve the community. So that's what we did. This was the late 90s, early 2000s. And I always felt exhausted, the burnout, the compassion fatigue. I just didn't know what it was because we didn't talk about it. I didn't know what it was until I got in the field and was working and I went to a training and the trainer named it. I'm like, yes, I've been feeling that for so long. And this is the first time that someone has named it for me. And then it's like, nobody's talking about this.
Mm.
Nobody's training on it. There's just nothing. And I'm like, maybe I need to, lead the pack. And that's how that began. And then swag developed from that as well.
So I always I look at it like you're like a football team. Everybody's out in their positions, and then this is so weird how this is in my head. So hopefully you'll feel me. Um,
Mhm.
then the
I'm with you.
world goes through whatever it's going through, and its trauma, and its triggers, and its challenges, and now you're like, all right, everybody huddle up. Because
Yes.
everybody huddle up.
Yes.
We got a new form of trauma right now. We're dealing
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
ICE. We got racism. We got
Yes.
burnout. We got loss of funding. We got loss of healthcare. Okay, so this is what we're gonna need to do. All right, three, two,
Yeah.
one, hut,
Yeah.
like hike, or however you
Yes.
call it in
I
football.
I love that metaphor. We are like the calm and all the chaos. We're like the
Right.
Mike Tomlins of the world. We try to keep everybody steady and balanced and centered no matter
Yeah.
what is going on in the outside world. Yes.
Yes, but even among your own village, not just the community, like because you all are given the assignment to help your clients, to help your people that you are assigned to add uh therapy to, or someone that you just need, someone that
Mhm.
could just you're there to listen and to help. But just within your own village, you're that person, you're that Mike Tomlin for your village, and that's what the Swag Awards is all about. Like, all right, look, I know it's hard out here. We're going to do it. You got it. This is not the end of the road. This is the beginning of the journey. You're not by yourself. We see you, we hear you. And people need that. You need that energizing,
Mhm.
because this life out here is lifing.
Yes, it
And what people don't understand is, thank God I go to therapy. I didn't know anything about the transference of energy and how you
yeah.
take that on. Someone calls you and it's like, girl, I'm just da 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 da, and you're sitting there like, and it
Yeah.
just gets
It's
so
it's
heavy. So yeah,
it's just as contagious, if not more contagious than a sneeze, that
yes.
transference of energy.
Yep. 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 So I'm thankful for you and having this, you and your husband, because I know that's your ace right there, for coming up with the Swag Awards. And on March 7th, uh at the Sheridan Station Square, what can we expect? Because this is the sixth annual now. So,
Yes, yeah,
and every year we gotta up it. So what can
we
we
do, we
expect on,
do.
on March 7th?
We're constantly trying to outdo ourselves, but sometimes somehow, Kiki, we manage to do that. So
Mm-hmm.
we're going into to year six. This is the theme will be where heart meets impact. So we have an amazing line of speakers. We have some awardees who are being honored for their work. We have an entrepreneur of the year. We have a lifetime achievement awardee, and for the first time we have the organization of the year. So I'm excited about that because we know we hear a lot about the toxic workplaces, but I wanted to like, let's look at the organizations that are actually doing good work, that are healthy workspaces. Let's
Yeah.
recognize them because there are a lot of them, and let's put them, on the stage so people can see like there are actually some really good workplaces that employ and care about social workers.
Mhm.
And so we're excited about that for the first time, and for the or the fifth consecutive year, we're going to continue to do the There For Me awardee, and that is to honor the social worker, an awardee's parent, guardian.
Mhm.
mentor,
Mhm.
etc., who was there for them throughout their social work journey. And that was inspired by my late father, Andre Hemby, who was
Mhm.
totally there for me. He even questioned, why are you getting into this field? Y'all don't make no money and you can't stay home forever. So, but he got behind it when he saw the work and he saw how passionate. I said, the money's going to come.
Yeah.
You know, I know it's rough now, but I know it's going to come because this is the passion is first and then the money will come. But it was inspired by him
Mhm.
because of how he was there for me. So each year we recognize an awardee's person who was there for them. So we
Oh,
also look forward to that. It's quite a celebration. When I hear people say the room felt like love and joy and excitement, and they felt seen and validated and proud to be a social worker, and they learned about social work, and they were able to connect with new people and connect with people they haven't seen in a long time, it makes me feel good. And it also
yeah.
makes me feel good that we have a lot of repeat attendance. We have people who have been there from the very beginning attending. They look
That's good.
forward to it.
Yeah, that's
So
good.
that's exciting.
Uh, we're talking to Sharise Nance, licensed clinical social worker and the visionary behind SWAG Awards, Social Workers Appreciation of Greatness Awards. And I said this just in light, but in a way I kind of meant it. I wish that we did had like a pandemic like reset. Like when we were in the pandemic, we were at home. We weren't dealing with people. If we had to be around people, we had to be 6 feet apart. We had to be masked up. And I don't know if that made us worse or better. That outcome for some people, we became entrepreneurs, we became leaders, we quit our jobs, we were able to work from home, we reinvented ourselves. But I feel like it's so chaotic right now outside. Do as a social worker, I don't know if you can answer this, but as a social worker, do you think we need that type of reset because we out here wilding?
Yeah, it was totally necessary, even though we didn't realize we needed it.
Yeah.
A lot of things I saw in my practice when, as a therapist and I was seeing clients, there were a lot of symptoms just surfacing that I never saw many of my clients experience.
Hmm.
People were experiencing extreme depressive symptoms, suicidal thoughts. Fortunately for me, I
Hmm.
didn't experience any attempts around that time.
Hmm.
And when I took some time to think about it and process it, it's because we are so busy. We are constantly on the go.
Yeah.
Our nervous systems have been wired to just be activated in constant survival mode, fight, flight, freeze. We got to go, 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 go.
Hmm.
And so now this pandemic happens. We're on shutdown, social distancing. Many people who, especially if you live alone, now you don't have any socialization, you're not getting up and you're not a part
Yeah.
of the matrix or groundhog day when you're going to your job and that grind. People were on board meetings, going to
Right.
social events. There's none of that. So that's an extreme to go from waking up 5 6 a.m. in the morning and then coming home at 9 p.m. at night, and then you're exhausted and you just go to sleep and do it all over again. So you don't
Yeah.
have a chance to sit with yourself, to sit in your feelings, to be in all of that. And now you do. And for a lot of people, that was very frightening. It
Yeah.
was uncomfortable. They didn't feel safe. So, and for some people in the beginning, they didn't like it. It was uncomfortable. They felt unsafe. I don't know what this is. I don't know what to do with it. And then finally, it's like, oh, I do think I like this. And now it's time. Okay, now we're opening up the world again. You can go back outside. So now we're getting reintroduced to that. And what are we, about 2 3 years removed from that?
Hmm.
So that checks
Yeah.
that about what, where we are in regards to
Okay.
people's socialization and their comfort level.
Okay. I just wanted to know what you thought. Someone thought I was crazy. I'm like, no, no, it's too peoply out here. I want to stay and I can't. Y'all
The
crazy.
reset was necessary, and they're no most of us who are just conditioned to be like on the go. We're so busy. We have so much going on.
Yeah.
We are not going to sit down unless something or someone sits
Sit
us
us
down.
down.
And that's why people get burned out. We have to be intentional about our recovery throughout the
Absolutely.
day, taking micro breaks, sit down, take a breath.
Yeah.
When we don't do that, eventually it's going to pile up and something's going to sit us down.
Yeah. That's a word for me. I'll take that personally because I'm all over the place. I am. I try to slow down, but I get bored too easily and
I
too
I
fast.
get it. I get it. I totally get it. I'm preaching to myself most of the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Sharise Nance, thank you so much. March 7th at the Sheridan Station Square is going down. The 6th annual SWAG Awards. That's the Social Worker Appreciation of Greatness Awards. Get your tickets. Where is it? It's the swagawards.com. That is the
Yes.
website. We still have time to get tickets. We still
We
have
still
time.
have,
Do we still have time to
yes,
get
we
tickets?
still
Okay.
have time. We
All
still
right.
have time.
Okay, great. That is awesome. Buy somebody a ticket, buy a table, sponsor it.
Yes,
Do what you need to
yes.
do to support. And if maybe you can't attend the event, but you want to support, you want to give a donation, they could do that. You can follow the Swag Awards on social media, reach out to Sharise and see how you could be a part of the solution and not the problem. So that's my hope for all of this. So any last words you want to say before we shut it down?
I just want to thank all of my colleagues, social workers, helping professionals for your hard work. And please remember, you can be there for other people, but don't leave yourself behind.
I love that. Sharise Nance, Swag Awards founder and visionary. Thank you so much for telling us what's good in your hood.
Thank you. Yep.